This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Our goal with our videos is to empower you to be able to do the repairs on your own and save a whole lot of money and also get that great feeling of having fixed it by yourself. Today we're changing the timer on a Frigidaire gallery washing machine. This is an older type. Make sure before you change the timer that if you're having trouble with agitation or spin that you've checked other things like the motor and the door lock. Also, it could be the motor controller. So to do the repair, we have it on.
That's my washer.
Pull
I know that
washing
washer.
machine out. In this case, this one's underneath a counter, and I'm going to push in and then twist to my left counterclockwise until this front dial comes off. And in this model, we can see that the top panel has already been removed, but on yours, you may have to remove the top panel. I'm going to clip this little zip tie that's holding the wire loom in place. I'm going to take out 2 screws, Phillips head screws, from the top of the control panel. I want to get the control panel off. I'm going to move to my right to pull out this detergent drawer, then push down on this little button near the back, pull off the detergent drawer. There's one little Phillips head screw I've got to take out there. And then there's a few more Phillips head screws that are on the back of the control panel that are a little bit lower down, so we have to get at them by coming in from the back. So you can use like an angle tool to get into those screws. Also, you could use a Phillips head screwdriver with a small ratchet. They're just kind of hard to get to because of their position. Could use a really small stubby Phillips head screwdriver too. Here's another one here in the corner. So we have 3. There's one in each lower corner and one in the middle. And once those are all off, you can take the knobs off of the front of the control panel by just grabbing them and pulling them towards you. And then you can take the control panel off. Almost loose. So we just pull that knob off, then there's another one there. You have to kind of wiggle and pull. And then here's another little Phillips head screw I got to take out. Just going to use a ratchet and a Phillips head screwdriver. It's funny, I couldn't find any videos on how to replace these older style timers, so this may be the only video existing on the web at this point. And this timer replacement actually was from eBay, and the reason for replacing it was we ruled out door lock, we ruled out the motor controller, and the motor could be the problem, but it may be the timer. So I'm wiggling off this piece to get it off. There it goes, comes right off. Take out these 2 Phillips head screws. I noticed when I sprayed electrical cleaner into the timer that I did get agitation function back. So I was thinking that maybe the contacts were just really dirty. And we're hoping that this one from eBay is a used one, but maybe it'll be okay. Just disconnected a little connector that was bringing power to the LED lid lock light. And then before I take off these connectors on the back, I'll take a series of photos just to make sure I get them all put back on correctly onto the new timer. Try different angles just to make sure that you remember where each one goes. Also, when I replace timers, I do like to try to take off one connector and put it on the new timer, and then take off the next connector, put it on the new timer, just one by one, just to make sure I don't get them mixed up. So these come off all at once, and this is a whole bunch of the connectors, comes off like as a block. But then there's some individual ones here too that we have to take off. In my experience, timers are usually not the cause of functional problems with the washing machine or the dryer. But it does happen sometimes. It's usually good to try to clean them first, because sometimes that'll do the job. Usually I do that by spraying in some electrical cleaner. You can get it like at Home Depot in the electrical section, and you can just spray it in, and sometimes that'll clean the contacts without doing a disassembly. So I'm just taking these off, just one by one, and just making sure I have the same alignment from the old one to the new one. Usually these spade connectors are on there kind of tight, so it's good to use maybe a standard head screwdriver to pry them off, or a pair of needle nose pliers, just so you can get them off. And when you put them on the new one, just make sure you get them on there nice and snug. So this timer is really kind of the brains of the operation. It's controlling all aspects. And if you're having a problem with the motor not being active, this may be the problem. You do want to rule out, again, the other things like a bad motor, worn out motor. Some of these Frigidaire gallery models have brushes that you can change on the motor, which is pretty easy to do, and some of the models don't. This older model does not have a type of motor brushes that you can change, but there's a few that do, and that could be why you're not getting any motor action. So since this is kind of an expensive part, it'd probably be better to make sure this is your last option. You've tried all the other parts first. Down in the lower left-hand corner of the machine, after you remove the lower panel, there's a tech sheet, and the tech sheet gives you some tests that you can do that can help you determine whether maybe your timer is the problem with the non-action of the motor. These are really good machines. They're really tough, and they're kind of dying out. And we're going to put on this last connector. It's just the big one that goes over all of them. Push that in nice and tight. And then we're all ready to remount the timer. We just have to push it down into the cavity and spin it around so that the stem part is pushing out toward us. We can guide it back through that hole. And right now I'm just reconnecting the little modular connector that brings power to the LED light lock. And I'm going to push in that little black part you just saw me push in is the sensor that can sense if the detergent drawer is closed. It's a magnetic reed sensor or reed switch. So a magnet in the dispenser drawer closes a reed contact, and then that allows the lid lock to fire up. And you have a lid lock that isn't working, that could be the problem. The magnet may have fallen out of the dispenser drawer. So I'm just guiding that back through, and then I'll put in those two Phillips head screws. They're really short with machine threads. Get those in there, get them tightened up, and that'll hold the timer in position. Here's one. There's the second one. Nice and tight. Put that orange piece back on and just twist it until it slides easily, and just push it all the way back on. There we go. Now we can put the front panel back into position, and we can then put the knobs back on and put the screws on that hold the front panel into position. Put the detergent drawer back in. So I'm going to put this knob back in until it clicks. You have to kind of move it around until you find the spot where it'll click right in. There we go. Okay, now I'll put these knobs back on. And you have to kind of wiggle them around to a certain position, and then they'll just slide right on. They only go in one way, so just wiggle them, push them in. Got 3 of those knobs. This is the timer knob. It goes over that little stem, and you're going to push in and twist to your right clockwise. All right, got that done. And then we'll go ahead and add those Phillips head screws back in that hold the front panel on. So we have a couple in the upper right and left hand corner, and then 3 on the lower aspect on the corners, and 1 in the middle. So we're tightening up the Phillips head screw there on the corner, top. Got the other corner. Okay, we've got the ones in the right and left side that are lower. Here's the one in the middle that's in the lower part. We're going to use the ratchet to get in there, get that tight. And that pretty much should do it for your timer. You've got all your power connections hooked up. You've got your front panel back on, all the knobs back on, tightening up the screws. And then you can go ahead and plug it in and give it a test, and hopefully you get all of your functions back. Here are a couple close-ups of some of the parts that we worked on today. This is that orange piece that goes in the front of the timer. And here are some of the wiring connections. Some close-ups of the timer. And you can probably find this timer on eBay. It's going to be used, but you can ask the seller if it's coming off of a functional washing machine. A couple more close-ups. So I hope this did the trick for you, or at least help get you on the right path to getting your washing machine going again.
Thanks so much for watching our video. We really appreciate your support. And when you get a chance, please press the subscribe button below so you can be subscribed, and also the notification bell so we can send you more videos about appliance repair. Please also give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. If you really liked the video and it really helped you, please press this new applaud button, and you can show your support and also get a nice clapping hands for your video. Thanks again.